How many mothers have to cry? How many brothers gotta die? How many more times? How many more times? How many more marches?
For university, but you're worried about student loan debt. Look into the RU Can you wave the flag? It's a new program that offers Rochester University graduates who make
anyone in what's felt like years. But honestly, I don't know when this ends, but I do know this. We can get through this by focusing on those small moments that kind of just make you smile.
Hey, we're gonna work with what we have, and that's fine. And that's all that matters, that you guys are all here, that you guys are responsible enough to be here to march for Miss Vanessa Guillen and for the end of senseless acts of violence in Palm Beach County. My name is Whitmire Pierre. I'm the founder of the Reformers Movement.
We definitely want to get the generations, the younger generations involved and out there because we're doing this for you. We want to do this fight and make sure that you don't have to go through the same injustices that we've been seeing for decades and decades. This systemic racism that's just built into all different parts of our society. So we want to change that. We want social change and social justice. We want racial equality and justice. We want reform. You know, we want law enforcement to be held accountable, and we don't want to see them be able to get away with the senseless violence that they've been getting away with.
My personal story, I'm a military sexual trauma survivor from Fort Hood, Texas. My abuser is still out there. I tried to seek justice, but I didn't get it yet. So this kind of hit home for me, to know that's where I was stationed and to know that my story's not finished, but this happened 17 years ago. And I finally, had to go revisit it with the Army, and I'm thankful that you guys are here supporting, because you guys, I'm a part of a military organization, and on Facebook, a group. I'm a veteran, and so whenever this happened to her, my stomach got sick, because as they posted her on this Facebook group, they're just story after story after story after story after story of this happening in Fort Hood, Texas. And the reality is the military is a system that was created, and it has to be held accountable.
The same objectives and goals, which is equality and justice, not only racially but economically, for all of the people of the United States. Palm Beach Indivisibles was started in January of 2017. It's a national
Palm Beach County resident. I'm a mom of 2 out here. I have a daughter who's about to be 14 next month and a son who's 11. And I've been living here in Palm Beach County for about almost 17 years now. And I've lived in different areas over Palm Beach County, you know, some nicer than others. And I've definitely, you know, experienced different levels of racism. I saw the video of Shane Myers out there on the corner of 441 and Forest Hill Boulevard in Wellington, and when that woman called the cops on him saying that she didn't want those kind of people being brought to the area, it just that was the icing on the cake. I was like, I can't sit by anymore. I can't, you know, just be online anymore. I have to get out there and I need to be active and I need to do something. I have kids who are growing up in this now, and you know, they're one of my main reasons for being out here and fighting. Actually really give back to the community here, the underserved, the marginalized. So that is what we are fighting for. We want to hold law enforcement accountable. We want to reform that system. I honestly, personally can say, I don't want these words twisted. I personally can say I am a reformist. I feel like you take the system that you have and you try and reform it and change it so that it works for everybody. I'm not an abolitionist.
Persons of color and minorities are not free from oppression and systematic racism. We are not free from oppression. We are not free from inequality. We are not free from systematic racism or police brutality. I'm sure George Floyd thought he was free. He was not free. His crime that he committed did not constitute death.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. And if we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. Don't shoot. Hands up. 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 Don't shoot. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Your local, your state, that's what matters. So let's get our city people into our counties and our county people into our state and our state people into the federal system. But fuck the president and all that nonsense. That is a distraction. The people that run for your county and for your city affect your day-to-day life.
I am a volunteer with Moms Demand Action. We are an organization that fights for gun sense in America. We are grassroots, and we fight for public safety measures that can protect people from gun violence. On an average single day, police shoot and kill 3 people and injure 6 more. Black people are the victims of police shootings at a disproportionate rate. There are nearly 3 times as likely to be shot and killed by cops than white people. Black Americans account for 24% of those fatally shot by police, despite making up only 13% of the population. The most important thing we can do is build a system of accountability to stop this horrific cycle of violence. We must stop funding militarization of police and ensure critical community programs stay funded by reinvesting in community-based programs like violence interruption, hospital-based initiatives, so police intervention is avoided in the first place. We have to end our over-reliance on police. We must get back to taking care of each other and our communities and being proactive in teaching our children and our peers, calling them in, doing the work to recognize racism in ourselves and our communities and being actively anti-racist.
I can't breathe. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
But what the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office did is they took advantage.
That's right.
They sat us down, said they wanted to help, that they were going to help us, they were going to keep us safe, but they lied. What they wanted to do, they wanted to find our itinerary and then block us with about 100 to 80 police vehicles, heavily armed men and women for high school students and college students. No backpack. And when people talk about defunding the police, I'm just like, maybe I should do my research before. We need them to do their jobs effectively. We need them to do to have the right resources. But to hold us there for 13 hours, and you guys try to not let any food or water come to us for 13 hours. You blocked us in, and they told the neighborhoods that were around us that we were rioting. And then at one point, they said that we're blocking the street. But mind you, they blocked the whole street for like 3 hours. Our march would have been ended in like an hour and 30 minutes. It was just a march straight there and a march straight back. We stood there, we said all day, all night, and that's what we did. We sat there, we danced. It was a very peaceful protest with black, whites, Hispanics, and all religions, genders, like our community, yes, the people who are always here for us. And we stood there until 2:45 in the morning. 2:45 in the morning. The show of force was unnecessary. It was too much. And then when I said, you guys are using a lot of resources for just this protest, you know what they laughed and said? This ain't even half of it. And then finally at 2:45, they said, we want to work with you.
In the morning.
We want to work with you in the morning. 2:45 in the morning, when they finally figured out we weren't leaving. What I want everyone to know is it starts from the top. It starts from the top and it comes right down the bottom. And I'm going to just leave you guys with this. The Emancipation Proclamation did not free slaves. The 13th Amendment did.
Okay?
Okay now.